Welcome everyone to our San Ysidro School District Virtual Back to School webinar for students and families. Today is July 23rd, just a few days before our first day of school on Monday, July 26th. And our presenters will be the Assistant Superintendent, Dr. David Farkas, and our Executive Director of Educational Services, Cynthia Monreal Gonzalez, and myself.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Francisco Mata, and I'm the Coordinator of Public Relations and Community Services for the district. You can listen to the Spanish translation by dialing into 1-503-673-9164 and the access code 942-192-757 #. Para escuchar esta presentación en español, por favor, marque al 1-503-673-9164 y aprime el código de acceso 942-192-757, signo de gato. Gracias.
Hello, San Ysidro School District families. I'm Dr. Gina Potter, the superintendent of our district, and I extend a warm welcome back to our students and families for the 2021-22 school year. This will be a year of transition as our district works in partnership with our families to support the vast majority of our students to return to full in-person instruction in our schools. Our team is sensitive to the significant impact the COVID pandemic has had in our community and in our schools this past year. We thank you for viewing our district's virtual back to school webinar so we can help your family successfully start the new school year. This is our agenda for the webinar today. We are going to be reviewing the district's theme, vision, mission, and goals, our successes from the past year, the school meal program, how parents can log into Parent View, register your student, and submit a transfer application, our COVID school safety protocols, school schedules, instructional programs, curriculum, grading, Chromebooks, Google Classroom, attendance, student and parent expectations, school uniforms, virtual learning academy, the school and district contact information, and we even have a QR code for you to enter your questions. Our theme for this school year is Adelante or Onward. As we open all of our schools for in-person instruction, Adelante will be the theme of the year for our school district. Our district's vision is that the San Ysidro School District, in partnership with our teachers and community, is committed to providing a high-quality, multicultural learning environment that promotes academic excellence, social responsibility, and physical and emotional well-being for all students. And our district's mission is quality education and opportunity for all students to succeed. This year, we have 5 goals. These goals are embedded within our Local Control Accountability Plan, or our LCAP plan, and the goals are student achievement, English language proficiency, safety, climate, and student engagement. The first one was student achievement. We also are going to begin our implementation of our long-range master facility plan. We will be supporting students with their social, emotional, and well-being, and also parent engagement. Our notable successes for the past school year are program distinctions. We were very honored that our Sci-Fi, or Science and Physical Education program, known as the Project Lead the Way program, earned national distinction for our school district with an Innovation in Education Inspire Award. And we congratulate and we thank our Sci-Fi program lead, Elva DeBaca, and the sci-fi teachers for that program. Also, our preschool program this past year earned a Quality Counts California Tier 5 rating, and we earned statewide recognition. This summer, we had a Summer of Heroes expanded learning program where we had an academic bridge, enrichment activities with everything from horseback riding to swim lessons, social emotional learning activities, and team building activities. We're very proud of our COVID safety measures that we implemented last year and are carrying over to this year, which tightly align to the California Department of Public Health safety requirements so that we can protect our students, our staff, and our community. Last year, we bridged the digital divide across the entire district in all 7 of our schools. When COVID hit, we had about 85% of our students did not have access to the internet and or a computer. And within a few months after COVID came about, after March, we were able to completely close that divide, and all of our students now have access to both the internet and to a Chromebook. Last year, we served almost 1 million school meals to all children in our community between the ages of 1 and 18. So you could see there the total meal count was 785,604 meals. And we very much extend our gratitude to our child nutrition department. Also, we're extremely proud to share that we earned 0 findings in an audit of our federal program monitoring review. So another federal recognition for our school district. And our external audit had no findings, so it was a perfect audit, and we have a positive budget. Go San Ysidro. For our child nutrition services, we wanted to share with you that our meal service this coming school year for breakfast for our preschool sorry, not our preschool, but our transitional kindergarten to 6th grade students. Breakfast will be 7:45 to 8:15 at all of our elementary schools. And for our 2 middle schools, San Ysidro Middle School and Vista Del Mar Middle, breakfast will be served from 7:30 to 8 a.m. Breakfast is optional for all of our students. So if our students arrive about a half an hour early before school starts, they will be served breakfast. The lunch time for all of our elementary schools will vary by school. And the lunchtime for our 2 middle schools, 7th graders, it will be 11:41. And for the 8th graders, it will be 12:37. We're very excited to share with you that the San Ysidro School District is going to continue to participate in the Provision 2 breakfast and lunch program for this coming school year. This means that our district is able to serve your child meals at no charge. If you're not new to our district, you do not need to fill out the new school meal application. However, if you are new to our district, you can find the meal application if you located at the Child Nutrition Office at 4350 Otay Mesa Road, or you can also complete the application online using the link below or on our district's website. For our Virtual Learning Academy students, we also have meals provided to your program. So if you are a family maintaining and keeping your child in the Virtual Learning Academy, you can pick up meals on Fridays at your child's assigned school from 1:30 to 2:30. And during that meal pickup time, you will receive multiple days worth of breakfast and lunch meals. You do need to bring your student ID number for pickup.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. David Farkas. I'm the Assistant Superintendent at San Ysidro, and thank you for viewing our presentation this afternoon. This is called Parent View, and Parent View is our web portal where our families can access information for their students based on what school they're in at our district. The school site information and contacts are also located inside Parent View, along with the students' class schedule, all their courses, and their student ID. So Parent View houses all of that information for parents to go as a one-stop information platform. For more information, you can look at your student's Google account, and that's student ID at SanYsidroSchools.org. And then also parentview.SanYsidroSchools.org is also a resource for Parent View. And then your login credentials for your Parent View are the same as what you've used as for online registration. So hopefully that Parent View will help you keep up with some of the information that's necessary for your student to go through their school year. And you can always reach out if you need support at the email or the phone number. We've had a lot of success with registration this spring and summer, and I want to thank everyone for working together on it. It's not an easy process, but we try to make it as seamless as possible with support. Our schools have done a fantastic job of helping our families. So I want to thank everyone for working together. I know it takes a little patience sometimes to complete your registration, and we're very proud of the acceleration before we got to our July opening. So thank you out there. If you still need to finish your registration, you simply go to the district website at www.sysdschools.org. And there's a nice, easy tab there to find that says online registration 2021 registration. In this case, I would assume it says 21-22. This might be a picture we had from our previous presentation. But there is an online registration tab that has worked fantastically for everyone this spring and summer. So you simply go to that, follow the link and the steps. And should you need support, your schools have been fantastic. If you need to call or email the school, they'll walk you through and help you finish the process. And then you're ready to go for school. Transfer applications, this is the busy time of year when we get into early summer and midsummer to finish transfer applications. There's two types of transfer applications. One is an inter-district, and that's transfers that are either hopefully coming to San Ysidro, but it's also if someone's leaving the district as well. And that process is to fill out an inter-district transfer form, also located on the website, www.SYSD-Schools. And then that transfer application goes to the student's home district, and then it gets approved through the process, and we mail you the application to notify you. Intra is when we move from one San Ysidro school to another. That is based on space available. So some of our schools might be full and we might not have enough room. So we have to accommodate the students accordingly, but we try our best to honor intra-district transfers when they are needed. Simply fill it out as well, the intra-district transfer form located on the website, and we follow through at pupil services to make sure that happens. It does take a little time to process them. So please be patient and give us your transfers as soon as you know you're interested in making a transfer. Thank you. Again, I want to commend the entire community. We were obviously impacted greatly by the COVID winter surge. And then we were also one of the communities that did the most fantastic job of organizing in a safe manner to get our schools open and start a hybrid 2 times a week program to get our kids back together, get our teachers in the classrooms in a hybrid model last spring. And now we move forward on what we've learned over this winter and spring to reopen our schools. We follow the California Department of Public Health guidelines to make sure our students and staff are safe. And one of the most important safety mitigation guidelines is face coverings. As you all have heard, face coverings prevent the spread of the virus. And we know that our students from pre-K all the way to age 12, those under age 12, those students cannot get the vaccine yet, but we're hoping that happens soon. In the meantime, we know if we keep our face coverings on indoors, we're going to be extra safe. So the important thing to remember is indoors, at schools, we always have our face coverings on, and that's everyone, students and staff. And then outdoors, the CDPH does not require face coverings. So therefore, that is a safer place to have our opportunities to be together and to also have snacks and lunches. So our plan is to honor the California Department of Public Health requirements and ensure we're wearing face coverings indoors. Eating outdoors at no social distancing makes it easy, and it makes it wonderful for our students to be together safely outside. And then if we have the need because of spacing or the weather, when we eat indoors, we are going to follow California Department of Public Health recommendations to have everyone seated 6 feet apart when you eat inside. Home health screenings, these are very important because we need to make sure that we have all of our students leaving their homes for their bus rides or their entrances to their school to be very safe, and not, if they have symptoms, they need to stay home and contact their school office. So we want to be very careful. In the past, we said, come to school if you can make it. We don't want to have poor attendance, and we still want to have wonderful attendance. But if there are symptoms, we want to be extra cautious and keep employees and students home and have them contact the school. Symptomatic testing is required, so anyone that has to go home due to symptoms or has symptoms over the weekend for any reason, they need to make sure that they test for COVID, which is easy to do nowadays, and then they can come back to school if it's a negative test or back to work. We do have an option at our district. We've done a great job of organizing free and very fast rapid antigen testing that takes 15 minutes to get results. You may have heard of that already, and we're going to continue that program. So you'll be hearing more about asymptomatic testing available at your school sites and workplaces. And this one here, we're very proud of. We were one of the first districts to be organized and upgrading our air filtration ventilation systems in all our schools, so that all our buildings have ventilation that's filtered based on the highest standards. And our MERV filters have done a great job of keeping our air fresh and clean. So I want to thank everyone for working together to make sure that's in place, so our inside air is safe, or safer than other places. And then finally, hand hygiene. We want to ensure our students are remembering what they learned about washing hands. And we also want to make sure that that's a routine that we have, a routine where when they transfer from one place to another, that they take time for that 20-second hand washing and follow the right directions and the good soap on the hand, so that we can keep our hand hygiene nice and clean. And if we do touch our mask or face, we touch the mask or face with very clean hands. So we're going to continue that at our schools and when we transition from one place to another. Thank you for helping us with COVID school safety. It's very challenging, but San Ysidro is doing it better than anywhere else.
I would add one thing to that safety, those safety guidelines is on that first day of school next week, if you're planning to park your car and walk your child to school or onto campus, every adult will have to have their mask on. Is that right, Dr. Farkas? They're walking students on campus, or are they okay to walk without that mask on? Let's clarify that.
Thank you, Dr. Potter, for, and that's actually something the principals were working on sharing to all of our families. If you're outside, you do not have to wear a mask. And we're asking our families to please feel free to walk your student within the school procedures all the way to their lines or wherever the school is allowing people to walk outside. So we're going to get a little bit of a chance to feel like we used to when we'd walk students to class or to lines or to doors. But we are asking our families to stay outside, and we're not going to have inside activities at this time. So it'll stop at the door, and then anyone that goes through doors into buildings, they will have to wear a mask.
Thank you so much, Dr. Farkas, for clarifying that first day of school. I really appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Cynthia Monreal Gonzalez. I'm the Executive Director of Educational Services. And I just want to let you know that we really appreciate your attendance at this webinar today. And it will be posted in case you want to revisit any of the slides later, which is, as a mom, I typically have to do throughout the year. So first, to share with you some important dates in our daily schedule. This Saturday, so tomorrow, we are having our 6th annual Families First Drive Up Resource Fair, where families will be able to access resources such as housing, food, health, and job assistance programs. But more importantly, for that launch on Monday, we will be giving out backpacks filled with school supplies for any of our pre-K through 8th grade students who have already registered for the 21-22 school year. This event will be a drive-up event, and it will take place at different school sites at San Ysidro Middle School in their parking lot. The address is 4345 Otay Mesa Road. We have done different times for different school sites, so I'm going to go through them quickly, but again, you'll have this reference here just to help us be able to attend the amount of people come and to be able to encourage safety, because we'll have people coming at a little bit different times. So if you are from Willows School, your pickup time would be 10 a.m., Sunset at 10:30 a.m., Smythe at 11:30 a.m., La Mirada and our Child Development Center, 12 p.m., Sims at 12:30 p.m., Ocean View Hills at 1 p.m., and Vista Del Mar at 1:30 p.m. And just to reiterate, the location is all at San Ysidro Middle School, 4345 Otay Mesa Road, right across the street from our district office. Just the school sites have different pickup times that are listed there. As you all know, Monday, July 26th is the very first day of school to welcome our students back on campus. The entire first week of school from Monday through Friday, we will be following a minimum day schedule. We have the schedule listed for you from transitional kinder through 8th grade on the chart, both the regular day schedule, which is our typical Monday through Thursday schedule, but also our minimum day Friday schedule. So of an important note is that every day begins at our TK through grade 6 at 8:30 a.m. and at our middle schools at 8 a.m. So we have two different start times depending if your child is an elementary school student or a middle school student. Our transitional kinders, their regular day is 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and their minimum day dismissal is 12:35. Our kindergarten students' regular day is 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. with their dismissal on minimum days also at 12:35. Our grades 1 through 6 are 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. and their minimum day dismissal is 1:30 p.m. And our grades 7 through 8, again, here's the difference, 8 a.m. to 2:19, and their minimum days dismiss at 12:45. We also have the link to our student calendar listed here. It is on our district homepage, which is SYSD-Schools.org. There's a link at the top that says students, and you can find the student calendar right under that link. Or I believe this will be shared, and you can link through this as well when you are able to have access to the PowerPoint. We will be offering 2 instructional programs this year. We do have an in-person at-school program that will be a full in-person instruction Monday through Friday for the times that we listed before, back to our regular on-campus full-time instruction. About 98% of our families have opted for this for their students, so we will have those students attending in person daily. And as Dr. Farkas shared, we have a high-level multi-tiered safety measures in place to help keep our community, our students, and our staff safe with that on-campus learning program. We're also offering a virtual learning program, which is available to students from every single one of our schools. We have about 2% of our students who are enrolled to attend virtually, and they will be assigned teachers who are only teaching the virtual learning program. I did want to take a few moments to give you an overview of our curriculum. This is the board adopted curriculum, and it is used to help our teachers teach the Common Core state standards. However, you may see some additional supplemental materials that are there to reinforce the instruction of our Common Core state standards. So for our elementary schools, we use for English language arts and English language development, our Benchmark Advance. For mathematics, depending on the grade level of the students, we have 3 different math programs. Scholastic Big Day is our TK adoption. Grades K through 5 use MyMath, and grade 6 uses College Board Springboard. I'm not going to read you the science and social studies. They are listed. You can see that there are different adoptions depending on the grade level, and we did want you to have that as a reference. For our middle schools, which are grades 7 and 8 in our district, for our English language arts and English language development, we do use Amplify IT. For mathematics, for both grades, we use College Board Springboard. And for science and social studies, you can see the listings that we do have there. We did want to point out the grading periods for our schools, just so that you as a parent have that as a reference point and know when to expect report cards and parent conference times. We have listed for our elementary schools, first day of school, Monday, July 26th. The end of the first trimester, which is the first report card period, is November 5th, with parent conferences following the week of November 15th through the 19th. The end of the second trimester is March 4th, with parent conferences following March 14th to March 18th. And the end of the third trimester is June 8th, which is also the very last day of school for the 21-22 school year. For our middle school students, their schedule is a little different because they operate on semesters. Their first day of school is also Monday, July 26th. The end of the first progress period, and they'll get a progress report card, will be October 8th. They also have parent conferences from November 15th through the 19th, and the end of their first semester is December 17th, right before winter break. Additionally, they have the end of their progress report on March 11th, with parent conferences following that second semester progress period, March 14th to March 18th, and the end of the second semester being the last day of school, which is June 8th. For Chromebook checkout and setup, a couple of things. Students who are our continuing students should have a Chromebook that is already checked out to them. New students, so any new student on campus, will be able to check out a Chromebook at the school library, and schools will communicate the checkout process to families. We do anticipate that happening within the first or second week of school, just the same as when students are checking out their textbooks from the school library. So that will be communicated to families through each school site and the school site principal. We do have a short video for you to watch on how to connect your Chromebook to Wi-Fi. I think we might not quite have the sound figured out on that video, but we'll try one more time. If not, we'll just make sure that when we post it, we have it live linked for you, so you'll be able to hear that on your own. It's just taking you through a quick 1-minute process on how to do that. You can see it there. When you do receive your Chromebook, if you are a newer student or if you just forgot from last year how to get that done for your child, you would enter your student's district Google username, and the example is there showing you that their student ID is the beginning of their email address for the school district. And you would enter their password, which is lowercase sy, and their birth date. And you can see the example of how that would look. And then you would just click next to log in, and that will get them into their Chromebook. Last year, with virtual learning, all of our teachers set up a Google Classroom, as that is our virtual learning platform. But also, as students come back to campus, teachers will, for the most part, be using Google Classroom as well, just as an extra place to have some information. So we have this sign-in Again, same information we shared on the last slide of how students sign into Google Classroom. That we recommend that they use the Google Chrome browser when trying to access Google Classroom and the Google applications because they run smoother within that platform. That students can use that waffle, which are those 9 dots at the top right next to where their name and login will be. And once they click on that, they'll be able to see all the apps that they have available. And you can see the little chalkboard, that's the Google Classroom. They can click right on that. That's one way to join Google Classroom, because if their teacher has invited them, their teacher's name will appear when they click Google Classroom, and they would just click in and they'll be right in their classroom. In order to join Google Classroom, when their teacher shares a code with them, they would click that plus sign right next to the waffle, click join class, and then enter the class code that their teacher provides to them. If the teacher, so those are kind of the 2 ways. So the one way with the invitation, or the second way with joining the class. We also want to share some important information with you about attendance. We know that daily attendance is essential to academic success, because if our students are not on campus, they're not able to partake in the teaching and learning that's going on in their classroom. So we want to make sure that you're aware that we do have a perfect attendance program to help us incentivize that perfect attendance for our students, because we want to see them on time every day in class. Our school sites do it all a little differently, but they do some type of award or recognition monthly, and also at the end of each grading period. If you have an absence for your student that you need to report, please call the school site office on the day that that absence has occurred, so that you can give the information about why your student did not attend school. We encourage you to try to schedule things like doctor's appointments after school time, if at all possible, because we need our students to be in class every day for them to be the most successful with school. One issue that we do have in terms of attendance is chronic absenteeism. Chronic absenteeism is when a student is absent more than 10% of the instructional days. So when a student misses just 1 or 2 days a month, they are already considered chronically absent. We have an attendance program to support students who fall into this category of already being chronically absent, or they're at risk of being chronically absent. And that includes phone calls home and home visits. And we are anticipating being able to launch a Saturday school program where students will be able to make up lost attendance days from when they're absent, beginning late fall to early winter, in order for students to recover some of the learning that they will have lost if they miss school. So if at all possible, if it's for an appointment or that type of thing, we really encourage you to try to do that outside of the school day, because we know how important it is for your children, for our students, to be in their classroom every day. If for some reason you have an absence that's going to be for 5 or more days, potentially, there's an illness, or you have something pre-planned that will take your family out of town for 5 or more days, we have an independent study contract. This contract will include the completion of work by your child that is assigned by their teacher, to be able to kind of make up the learning time that they have lost by being out. And this must be approved by the school site principal. When the student returns to school with the completed work from that contract, students will be marked present for the days of the contract, but that work completion is a condition of those absences being reversed back to present days, when students can prove that they did complete the work that they would have had on those days. If you do have a need for this type of contract, please contact the school site, and the outreach consultant specifically will have more information and be able to support you with getting that contract to the principal for approval ahead of those days that you need to be out.
This slide addresses our student and parent expectations. Last year, during our virtual learning, we organized technology rules and guidelines. And this year we still have, just like Ms. Gonzalez has said, we still have are Chromebooks, and they may be used at home as well. So we want to make sure that in school and out of school, our students understand the guidelines for how we operate our Chromebooks and what is expected of our distance learning when we're at home, working on homework, and etc. And that also includes our Virtual Learning Academy students as well. You can see that there's a San Ysidro student user agreement permission form. There's also a board policy about the use of technology and an acceptable use agreement. Those are all accessible and all part of the expectations for our anytime we're using technology. There's also on our website a student handbook, a parent student handbook that helps everyone understand a little bit more about what's the expectations at school with our day-to-day behavior, activities, transitions, schedules. So those are all important. So that's on the website. And then also an annual notification packet will be mailed to you probably within the first or second week of school. And that will have colored paper in yellow color that will need to be sent back to the school. So that's how you know what needs to be sent back to the school and what needs to be reviewed. And that's the annual notification packet coming to your homes probably in about a week. School uniforms. San Ysidro has had school uniforms for quite a while. It makes it easy for families. It makes it easy for schools when it comes to dress codes, and the students really look great in the uniforms. We understand during this challenging time in the world and in our families, it's not easy to get uniforms. Some stores are even out of the uniforms. So we understand that it takes a little time to acquire the uniforms, and we are with that understanding, as much as we'd like to see uniforms on our students, and that's our policy for our district, we are able to say, let's try to get the uniforms and have a 3-week grace period to allow everyone to organize their students' uniforms. And then also, if there's support needed, I will speak of that. The school uniforms are, as much as they're fantastic looking, there's no uniform emblem or anything that's required as far as a design. It's simply consisting of navy, blue, or khaki pants, skirts, or shorts for the students, and then a white, navy blue, or light blue polo, dress shirt, or blouse on the top. So there's many options. Those are the colors that we use in our uniforms, and they could be purchased pretty much anywhere. If there is a challenge or needed for support, then the schools actually have uniforms and can actually help through their outreach consultants, and our student and family service manager has done a wonderful job of ensuring that our schools and our families get support when it comes to uniforms every year. She's ready and has taken multiple calls already this year, and that's Veronica Medina. She could be reached by phone or by email if you need extra support with your uniforms. The Virtual Learning Academy is exciting. It's challenging to start a brand new program, a new academy, but the purpose behind it is back in the spring, we wanted to see how many families have had success with distance learning and maybe even a need to stay on distance learning. We sent out a survey and had a wonderful response. Many people responded, either they were going to plan on staying on and wanted to stay on distance learning, or they couldn't wait to come back to in-person 5-day-a-week school. So those were our two options, as Ms. Gonzalez had said earlier. Since then, we've revised our board policy and had it approved recently at our school board meeting. The policy now is revised for the wording that is under the Assembly Bill 130, and it's also part of a new independent study contract that speaks more to explaining how we can have strong independent study programs to support our students. So that contract has been revised and it will be going out to our virtual learning academy students. And we are going to obviously follow the Assembly Bill and our board policy to have a very strong launch of our virtual learning academy on the first day of school. And there may be a need, there is a need for more placement of students in virtual learning. We again ask for your patience because we have staffing needs as well when it comes to online teaching. So we'll be continuing to work quickly and try to accommodate anyone that is interested in Virtual Learning Academy. The Virtual Learning Academy also follows our district adopted curriculum. It is going to mirror in every way, especially our school day, our regular in-person day. So our school days would start and end the same times. Synchronous is what's live when the teacher and the students are working directly together. And we're going to continue that in the Virtual Learning Academy. We're going to focus somewhat on social emotional learning and opportunities for group building and time spent with each other on the Virtual Learning Academy. The synchronous live instruction is going to be focused on our core content areas for our elementary school, and then also our middle school virtual learning students will receive all the classes virtually. Asynchronous is when the students are working independently at home on an assignment or on their Chromebook, and then they report back to their teacher their progress while they were working independently. And that's also part of the Virtual Learning Academy. And then there's also opportunities for small group instruction where some students are working independently by themselves without being logged into their Google Classroom. And meanwhile, some students might be working with their teacher in small group instruction. So the model is really differentiated to serve our learners. It's new, so there'll be some growth that we're going to have inside the academy, but we're very excited of having a new opportunity for our students and families. If you have questions, we try our best to respond as quickly as possible, but again, starting the school year, it's getting a little impacted when it comes to phone calls and independent study contracts. However, we will do our very best to get back to you to answer any questions. The best way to go about this is if you're already in the Virtual Learning Academy, contact that student's teacher through the Google platform and email, or if you're not in the academy yet, email VLA registrations at SYSD-Schools.org. And thank you. We're very excited.
We always want to make sure to let you know who to contact if you need help. So this slide will show you who your school contacts are at each of our elementary schools and at our child development or preschool center. So if we look at, for example, La Mirada Elementary School, we have here the phone number for you with their extension to their office. We have their website listed here for you, the principal's name, the name of the administrative assistant, and the administrative assistant's direct email if you need to contact our schools. So again, we want to be here to help support your families, have a successful start to the school year. And this slide will show you all of that contact information. We also have district departments that you may need to contact. If you need to contact the district office, for example, we have a main number here at the district office. It is 619-428-4476. The address of our district office is 4350 Otay Mesa Road in San Ysidro. We also have a school district website at www.sysdschools.org. We have a Facebook account at San Ysidro SD for school district, and we also have a Twitter account at SYSD Schools. The other departments that we have in our district, we have an administrative services department. That's my department. We also have the Educational Services Department, which is led by our Executive Director, Cynthia Monreal Gonzalez, and she's helping present today. We have a Pupil Services Department, which is under the direction of our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. David Farkas. We have a technology department, and you can see here we have the technology department's phone number. We also have an email to the director if you need help. That phone number there that's listed is actually the technology hotline if you need help. So it's 619-428-4476, extension 3045. If you have a child nutrition department question, the phone number is here for you, along with the director's name and email address. If you have a transportation question, you're going to be dialing 619-428-4476, extension 3046. And the Director of Maintenance, Operations, Transportation, and Facilities is Mr. Paulo Azevedo. And you can see there the Administrative Secretary's email address as well. And if you have a question regarding special education, here's the phone number and also our director's name and the Administrative Secretary's name and email address. This entire slide deck, our presentation that we're going through, will be emailed out to all families and all staff members sometime this evening. So you'll not only have the recording of this presentation, but you're also going to have the presentation slides. They will be available and sent to you by email, both in English and in Spanish.
All right, this is our last slide, but we want to be sure that we answer any additional questions that you might have for us. So I'm going to walk you through the steps for it. You would just take your phone and you would scan the QR code using your camera. So you'd open up your camera, you would point it at the QR code and scan it. At the top of your phone, there will pop up a little window leading you to click on it. Once you click on that, you'll find a page where you can leave questions or comments. You would click on the plus sign at the bottom of that page, and then you'll have a little, almost looks like a Post-it pop up where you can type in your question, and then click post to add your question to our page, and we'll be able to take those questions and create a frequently asked questions document that we will later post and share with all of you, so that we can make sure that anything that we didn't cover that is still kind of pressing in your mind that you want to know about, we're able to communicate quickly and efficiently with those answers to all of you.
Well, on behalf of the San Ysidro School District, again, to our students and families, welcome back to school. We're excited to welcome all of our students on Monday of next week, July 26th, back to the new school year. All of our schools will be open for full in-person instruction. And for the select few families that prefer to have their children remain learning online, we also have the Virtual Learning Academy. Welcome back, everyone, and know that we're here to help support you, your child, and your family transition to the new school year. Take care.